あんたがバカだからよ。バカ。一つもないから勘違いしてんじゃねえよ、バカ。
In the heart of a jungle, our inebriated villager stumbles through the dark, dreaming of a bustling city life surrounded by gorgeous women. Above, crows caw in the night sky as our tipsy protagonist stumbles into an uncared-for graveyard. Pity washes over him for the neglected final resting place. Amid thoughts of city lights, our villager plops down on a grave, letting out a sigh. Suddenly, an eerie sound interrupts his contemplation, the unsettling noise of a shovel meeting dirt. Panic sets in, and our villager, fearing ghosts, lets out a scream that could wake the dead. Speaking of which, tombstones start tumbling like dominoes. Meanwhile, a girl speeds toward the village in a three-wheeler, her driver attempting a cheerful conversation. However, the girl remains silent, uninterested in small talk. At the entrance, a no-entry sign halts the driver, who warns the girl of recent incidents and police presence. The graveyard is now a hub of activity as villagers and police gather. Our drunken storyteller shares his spooky encounter, emphasizing the mysteriously toppled tombstones. The inspector, intrigued, receives a call revealing a missing body from a grave belonging to the Chu family. Suspicions turn to Soren, Chu Shakuran's grandson, who had plans to visit his grandfather's grave. Enter the mysterious girl, introducing herself as Houhou, Chu Shakuran's granddaughter. The inspector, surprised by this revelation, cross-checks her identity with an ID proof. Meanwhile, Soren receives a call, instructing him to swing by the police station upon reaching the village. Soren, now in Tatsui village, greets an old friend, but a conversation stirs anger within him. Frustrated, he heads to the police station. Inspector Sue breaks the news to Soren about the grave disturbance and introduces him to the unexpected family member, Houhou, claiming to be his sister. Shocked, Soren discovers a family secret, and as the inspector tries to verify Houhou's lineage, Soren, overwhelmed, storms out of the station, determined to visit his grandfather's grave. Soren, on his way to the village graveyard, stumbles upon the unexpected sight of Houhou digging a grave. Intrigued and thinking he's discovered evidence of grave robbery, Soren captures a picture, only to be swiftly knocked out by none other than Houhou herself. Waking up with a pounding headache, Soren finds himself in the presence of a slaughtered zombie and Houhou, who proceeds to throw him into an empty grave and begins burying him alive. Confused and desperate, Soren engages in a conversation with Houhou, eventually learning that she claims not to be his elder sister and that the identity she presented to Inspector Shu was false. As Houhou continues burying Soren, a sudden emergence of zombies interrupts the bizarre scene. Soren, peeking out from the grave, witnesses Houhou skillfully dispatching the undead. Convinced he's in a dream, he starts screaming, prompting Houhou to call him an idiot before making a quick escape. Meanwhile, on the highway, a man with glasses awaits Houhou's arrival. She informs him about the robbed grave of Chu Shakuran and the encounter with Jiangxi during her excavation. The man speculates that practitioners of Xiangxi Ganshi might be behind the zombie chaos. In the midst of their conversation about Soren, a colossal lightning strike near the graveyard catches their attention. Upon reaching the scene, they discover that the zombies have been incinerated to a crisp. The man notices Soren's college ID and promptly creates a fake ID for Houhou, urging her to join Soren's college. The next day, Soren is startled to find Houhou casually sitting beside him while talking to Inspector Sue. Houhou greets Soren in a friendly manner, prompting him to jump off the bench in fear. The surreal and enigmatic journey takes unexpected turns, leaving Soren and the readers alike in a state of perpetual confusion and curiosity. The unfolding saga at Nanfukai University adds layers of intrigue and mystique to Soren's life. In the midst of a lecture, Soren struggles to concentrate as the girl who recently attempted to kill him, Houhou, sits beside him. Overcome with thoughts, Soren eventually gathers the courage to question her presence at the university. Houhou, seemingly unfazed, advises him to keep quiet and assures him that if he needs anything, he can approach her after class, leaving Soren shocked at her response. After class, Soren confronts Houhou in the schoolyard, expressing his desire to avoid trouble and insisting that he has kept her secret. However, tensions rise as Soren warns her of potential police involvement. Unperturbed, Houhou reveals her new college ID to Soren, claiming authority. A heated exchange follows, leading Houhou to call Jo-san, who grants her permission to handle Soren however she sees fit. Houhou boldly declares Soren as her servant, eliciting fury from him. Soren, threatening police action, is met with a counteroffer from Houhou. She challenges him to showcase the power he demonstrated when left alone with zombies, indicating her awareness of his formidable abilities. Soren, recalling his family's history of hiding their kung fu skills, initially attempts to conceal his powers. However, pressured by Houhou's relentless attacks, Soren eventually succumbs and unleashes his kung fu prowess, utilizing Tenchai Genshu, a technique passed down from his grandfather. In the background, the narrative unveils the sinister plot involving Shakuran's stolen body, a zombie controller, and a group seeking entry. The in charge of the group reneges on the promise to let the zombie controller join, demanding the capture of Shakuran's grandson, Soren, as a new condition. Despite Soren's best efforts, Houhou emerges victorious, having held back during their confrontation. Threatening to expose Soren's secrets, she coerces him into becoming her servant. As a gesture, Houhou provides Soren with an old phone for communication. Fearing embarrassment, Soren resorts to hiding in a tree to preserve his modesty. The narrative takes a surprising turn as a seemingly innocent couple captures a photo of the moon, inadvertently including Soren, who is in a compromising position. The photo goes viral on the university's page, exposing Soren to unexpected public attention. The tale weaves together elements of supernatural abilities, family secrets, and the unpredictable consequences of Soren's encounters at Nanfukai University. At the restaurant, Soren is in high spirits as he enjoys the company of Ken, who turns out to be even cuter in person than in pictures. They indulge in good food, and Soren is excited about the evening unfolding just as he had hoped. However, unbeknownst to him, Houhou is on a mission to track him down and interrupt his date. Houhou, armed with a second smartphone to track Soren's location, seeks Jo-san's assistance to drive her towards Soren. Meanwhile, Soren's cell phone is switched off, leaving him unaware of the impending interference. As Soren and Ken continue their enjoyable evening, the tension builds as Houhou gets closer to their location. Houhou, determined to instill some discipline in Soren, is poised to make her entrance. The narrative teases the collision of these contrasting elements, blending humor, suspense, and the unpredictability of Soren's encounters. The plot thickens as Soren, enchanted by Ken's charm, finds himself in an unexpected turn of events. Intrigued by her mysterious demeanor, Soren questions Ken about not having seen her at the college before. Ken smoothly deflects, claiming that she seldom goes outside. She begins to impress Soren with her words, revealing that she has been curious about him for a while, having passed by him at school, and he has been on her mind ever since. As the evening progresses, Ken invites Soren to her apartment. Once inside, Soren, feeling a bit stiff, becomes even more nervous. However, Ken's intentions take a dark turn. Attempting to kiss Soren, she slyly plants a bug behind his head. Suddenly, Soren feels a sharp pain between his legs. Ken's true nature is unveiled as she discloses her involvement in the grave robbery and zombie attacks. She refers to her minions as zombies. Soren, realizing the danger he's in, understands that Ken is the mastermind behind the recent chaos. Meanwhile, Houhou is on her way to Soren, unaware of the imminent threat. Ken, reveling in her deception, mocks Soren's virginity and reveals that she has planted a bug inside his head, set to activate at any moment. Soren attempts to use his kinku, but the bug prevents its activation. A zombie, under Ken's control, delivers a powerful punch, knocking Soren out. The narrative takes an unexpected twist, intertwining elements of romance, suspense, and supernatural intrigue. The stakes are raised as Soren faces not only physical threats but the revelation of a sinister plot orchestrated by Ken. The impending arrival of Houhou adds another layer of uncertainty to Soren's predicament. Houhou and Jo-san discover that Soren has been kidnapped by their adversaries, the Zensei sorcerers. Soren finds himself offered to the Zensei group, and Ken is formally accepted into their ranks. Meanwhile, Soren is subjected to unsettling experiences at the hands of Ayato's older sister. He realizes that the seal on his abilities is no longer effective, leading him to contemplate whether the lady genuinely harbors affection for him. However, his thoughts are interrupted by Ryu, who warns Soren to keep his distance until the desired information is extracted from him. Ryu, introducing himself, possesses the ability to make direct inquiries into people's souls. He employs a spell to manipulate Soren's memories, causing him intense pain. The scene takes a sudden turn when a rock, propelled at bullet-like speed, disrupts Ryu's spell. Houhou and Jo-san have arrived on the scene, assessing the situation. Jo-san recognizes the Zensei group's members, including the rookie Ryu and Natsuka, realizing that the impending battle will be far from easy. The stage is set for a confrontation between the opposing forces, with the stakes escalating as Soren becomes a pawn in the struggle between Zensei and his protectors. The narrative continues to weave elements of suspense, magic, and the supernatural, keeping readers on the edge of their seats. Soren finds himself in a complex web of magical encounters, alliances, and confrontations. The story takes an intense turn as Soren is caught between powerful forces, with Houhou and Jo-san attempting to navigate the challenges posed by the Zensei sorcerers. In a dramatic showdown, Soren pleads for help from Houhou, apologizing for not answering her call. Jo-san observes Soren's behavior with confusion, questioning what Houhou might have done to make Soren refer to her as his master. The confrontation intensifies as Jo-san and Houhou face off against Natsuka, Ryu, and the enigmatic Xiangxi Ganshi, Ken. Tensions rise as alliances are tested, and the true extent of the powers at play becomes evident. Natsuka, a formidable opponent, engages Jo-san in a verbal exchange, adding an additional layer of complexity to the already charged atmosphere. Ryu assesses the situation, checking for potential reinforcements, while Ken, unaware of Houhou's prowess, mocks her for intervening in the graveyard incident. The narrative takes unexpected turns as negotiations unfold, battles erupt, and secrets are revealed. Jo-san's attempt to strike a deal is met with disdain from Natsuka, leading to a clash of powers between them. Houhou joins the fray, demonstrating her skills with knives, but Natsuka proves to be a challenging adversary. As the confrontation reaches its peak, Soren, initially bewildered, witnesses the complexities of the magical world he's been thrust into. Ultimately, Houhou's intervention saves Soren from his precarious situation. However, the consequences of their actions and the brewing conflict set the stage for further developments in the intricate plot. Soren grapples with the complexities of the magical world he's thrust into. Jo-san, the head of the express delivery agency, reveals to Soren that there are two types of outsiders, those who inherit their power and those who acquire it. While Jo-san inherited his powers, Soren is puzzled as he has never sensed any inherited Kai within himself. The confusion deepens as Jo-san shares the history of outsiders, detailing the existence of Zensei, a group with motives shrouded in mystery. Jo-san's agency, Express Delivery, deals with incidents caused by outsiders, attempting to maintain order and address the consequences of their actions. In a surprising twist, Ken, held captive in the agency's cells, is revealed to be the heir of the Ryu clan, forced to learn the Jiangxi art and trapped in her house until the age of 15. Ken's traumatic past unfolds as she explains her desire to make the Jiangxi art disappear from the world. As Ken faces brutal interrogation methods from Jo-yeon, Soren intervenes, activating his Kinku powers to protect her. Tensions rise as Soren, Jo-san, Jo-yeon, and Houhou engage in a quarrel about Ken's fate. Ken discloses her mission from Zensei to find the legacy of Chu Shakurin, a dozen Zensei warriors defeated by Soren's grandfather, the outsider who wielded the Kid-Agent style. Jo-san grapples with the decision regarding Ken's fate, while Jo-yeon taunts Soren for his perceived weakness. Houhou warns Soren about the persistent threats he'll face due to being the heir of the Kid-Agent style. Despite initial reluctance, Soren agrees to join the express delivery agency after a forceful persuasion from Houhou and Jo-yeon. Jo-yeon becomes the supervisor for Houhou and Soren within the agency. However, the narrative takes another unexpected turn as Soren is once again kidnapped, this time by a different group of outsiders, adding a new layer of suspense and complexity to the unfolding story. As alliances shift, secrets unravel, and Soren navigates the challenges of his newfound abilities. The intricate plot continues to captivate with its twists and turns, leaving readers eagerly anticipating the next chapter in Soren's magical journey. So, our poor protagonist Soren finds himself in a kidnapping situation, and it turns out these two girls aren't your typical villains. They just want Soren to have a cozy chat with their chairman. Talk about an unconventional approach to social invitations. But hold on, here comes an outsider from another group, probably thinking he's collecting trading cards of kidnapped anime characters. Jo-san and Houhou decide to play the ultimate card, Soren being the heir of the exclusive Kid-Agent style. Cue the dramatic gasps and mysterious music. The outsider who initially kidnapped Soren starts protesting like he's in a picket line. But her comrade wisely mutes her because, surprise, the new outsider is no ordinary outsider. Maybe he's the kind who eats instant ramen without waiting for the water to boil. Scandalous, Soren, caught in the middle of this chaos, is both confused and angry. All he wants is to go home, binge watch his favorite anime, and maybe catch a nap. But no, destiny has other plans. In a plot twist that even Soren didn't see coming, he activates his Kinkajou, and lo and behold, the two outsiders' subordinates follow suit. talk about an unintentional synchronized swimming routine. Soren's expression, utter shock. The outsiders, probably regretting their life choices. Meanwhile, Jo-yeon, the resident researcher, discovers that Soren's kinkajou is not from the anticipated Kid-Agent style, but the elusive Tenchifu style. Suddenly, Soren becomes the hottest commodity in the outsider market. Move over, limited edition figurines. Soren is the new collector's item. Houhou, having a beauty sleep interrupted by an unwelcome guest, decides to go back to Dreamland. But oh no, it's Fusin, the forgettable attacker from a past skirmish. Houhou dodges with all the grace of a ninja cat, wondering why her adversaries don't invest in alarm clocks instead. Meanwhile, Soren, in an epic struggle against two outsiders, discovers that Regioku and his gang have spilled the beans on Soren's secret moves. To add insult to injury, Soren charges towards Regioku only to get knocked down with a single hit. Classic anime move, right? But Soren, determined as ever, stands up for round 2, ready to unleash a storm of kicks and punches. Regioku's subordinates play the role of the concerned referees, begging Soren to reconsider. In the background, Jo-yeon scratches his head, questioning Soren's connection to Tenchifu. After all, there's no record of an outsider named Shakurin. In the midst of Regioku's relentless mocking and crushing display of kinkajou power, Soren is left battered and underestimated. But just when it seems like all hope is lost, Soren pulls out the ultimate trump card, the forbidden technique passed down by his grandfather. As Soren awakens from what felt like a defeat, he can't help but unleash a torrent of complaints about the limitations placed on him since childhood. Enter the unexpected hero, Houhou, appearing behind Soren like a mystical motivational coach. With calm words, she cheers him up, charging Soren with newfound determination. However, Soren's attempt at acting cool around Houhou doesn't go unnoticed, and she promptly slaps some humility back into him. Soren, being Soren, apologizes, realizing that maybe playing it cool wasn't the best move. Just as the trio is about to have their moment, Fusin makes a fashionable entrance, joining the chaotic scene. Soren, now charged with a mix of emotions and a desire to prove himself, begins to charge his attack, leaving Regioku utterly confused. This is the moment Soren decides to unveil a technique he's never used against a human, a move his grandfather strictly forbade. As Soren initiates Reihu, he becomes a blur of speed, making even the most attentive eyes struggle to track his movements. Regioku's subordinates, who were so sure of their advantage with kinkajou, are left in shock. Reihu, unlike kinkajou, is a technique that can't be stolen. Soren attacks Regioku, who, in a surprising twist, counters with the same technique infused with ominous black kai. Just when it seems like a clash of titans, Houhou leaps into action, nullifying Regioku's Reihu with a single swing of her blade. Regioku, now humbled, apologizes to Soren for underestimating him and extends an unexpected invitation. He invites Soren to participate in the Reiten Teishu at Ryukasen, where the next successor of Tenchi will be chosen. With Josen's provided address, Houhou whisks Soren away to a remote villa rented by the express delivery agency. It's a training ground, and Soren is about to embark on a month-long boot camp with the mysterious and slightly quirky Houhou. Houhou, ever the wise mentor, encourages Soren to participate in the upcoming Tenchi event, dropping hints about discovering more about his grandfather. But before Soren can dive into the secrets of the universe, Houhou decides to give him a power-up. No, not the Dragon Ball kind, more like a headachy, unconscious kind. Soren awakens feeling the flow of Kai leaving his body, only to be revived by Houhou's unconventional method, a bucket of water. Houhou casually mentions that she transferred her technique, Nufuku, to Soren's brain, leaving him with the task of mastering it. Standard mentor-student relationship, right. While Soren meditates to harness his Kai, he couldn't resist asking about the name of Houhou's technique. As she undresses for a shower, she casually drops the name Nufuku, leaving Soren puzzled and slightly amused. However, Soren's attempts at focus are hampered by a certain distraction in the form of Houhou bathing. As Soren struggles to concentrate, Houhou, being the insightful mentor, decides to tackle the issue at its roots. She takes it upon herself to help Soren overcome his distraction by hiring two middle-aged women. Unfortunately, Soren's reaction is far from what she anticipated, resulting in a comedic exit for the hired help. Fed up with the entire situation and feeling a bit like a character in a bizarre soap opera, Soren contemplates leaving the villa. He expresses his frustration, revealing the toll this servant and master game has taken on him. Soren, however, is in for a surprise when Houhou issues a threat, reminding him of the consequences of taking another step forward. Caught between losing his dignity and facing the unknown consequences, Soren chooses the former. Houhou, in a fit of frustration, damages the villa, pleading with Soren to come back. But Soren, determined to escape the chaos, heads back to his dome. On his way, he encounters Fusin from Tenjikai. who reveals that her father wants to meet Soren. Little does Soren know, Tenjikai is more than just a meeting place, it's the renowned Tenj group, led by Fu Chanhao himself. Soren is offered a chance to join Tenjikai, setting the stage for a whole new chapter in his adventure. Meanwhile, back at the villa, Houhou is left bewildered and regretful. Jo-san and Jo-yan arrive, and in an attempt to salvage the situation, they decide to transform Houhou into a cute schoolgirl who can't possibly be ignored. Ken, the part-time helper, joins the makeover mission, bringing in a modern touch to Houhou's appearance. As Chanhao entertains Soren and discusses family histories, the true intent of the outsiders is revealed. The outsiders are vying for the unique powers possessed by 8 specific individuals, and among them is the legendary kid agent style that Soren's grandfather wielded. Chanhao drops another bombshell. There's a power called the channeling technique, a legacy of Fu Tenyu, Chanhao's grandfather. It's a world of mysterious powers, family legacies, and unexpected alliances, and Soren finds himself at the center of it all. In the realm of successors and secret arts, Soren and Chanhao find themselves sharing a unique legacy. As Soren delves into meditation to amplify his kai, the tranquility of his room is disrupted by the unexpected entrance of Scene and a woman named Nana. Meanwhile, Houhou makes her bold entry into the Tenj building, determined to find Soren no matter what. Houhou's direct approach at the reception, labeling the receptionist as an old lady, leads to an escalation. Security is summoned, but Houhou, displaying her formidable skills, swiftly deals with them, leaving a trail of dislocated arms in her wake. Meanwhile, Soren finds himself enjoying the expertise of Nana, a nerve-mandling outsider. Amidst the massage, Scene grapples with her father's decision to choose Soren. Chanhao, in a heart-to-heart with Scene, reveals the unique inheritance Scene holds as the only one among his children capable of wielding the Fu family's channeling technique. Scene, coming to terms with her destiny, asks Nana to grant them privacy. As Soren contemplates joining Tenjikai, his thoughts are clouded with regret for leaving Houhou behind. Back on the hunt for Soren, Houhou's relentless pursuit leads her to face the top 4 outsiders of Tenj group. In a whirlwind of combat, Houhou showcases her prowess, taking down 3 of them, while the 4th analyzes her every move. Meanwhile, Scene takes a more unconventional approach to express her feelings for Soren. Stripping down and advancing towards Soren, she deliberately falls in love with him, causing Soren's seal to have no effect. Despite Soren's reluctance to marry Scene, he expresses a desire for a relationship. This revelation prompts Scene to knock him out cold. As Soren grapples with unconsciousness, Scene continues her assault. Soren, utilizing his Kinkoku, defends himself against Scene's relentless punches. Soren launches into a powerful attack, but Scene effortlessly dodges, utilizing teleportation to disappear from his sight. Back in the arena with Houhou, the battle intensifies as Chanhao considers stepping in. However, Jonggu steps forward, requesting the honor to face Houhou himself. In the midst of the escalating chaos, Jonggu charges towards Houhou, only to be taken aback by the unexpected strength of the seemingly delicate girl before him. The 4 top-class outsiders of Tenj group are drawn to the unfolding battle between Jonggu and Houhou. Facing each other, Jonggu and Houhou engage in a fierce clash, with Houhou skillfully defending against Jonggu's blows. However, Jonggu seizes an opportunity when Houhou loses balance due to her high heels, landing a powerful blow that leaves her body numb. Houhou, ever resourceful, smashes her head on the ground to regain focus. As Jonggu continues his assault, using controlled sharp weapons as an arms master, Houhou manages to dislocate her shoulder, escaping before the final blows can connect. Taking the fight more seriously, Houhou removes her high heels, revealing a new level of determination. Meanwhile, Soren has taken on the challenge of Scene, deflecting her attacks with surprising skill, exhausting her kai in the process. Soren pauses to name his technique, the Little White Bug, developed during his learning of Reihu. Before leaving, Soren questions Scene's true feelings, only to discover that her earlier affection was a deliberate act for her father's sake. Back in the room where Jonggu and Houhou are clashing, the president of Tenj enters, disrupting the fight. Jonggu, desperate to salvage his reputation, requests Houhou to ask politely to stop the fight. Houhou, unimpressed, complies but not without expressing her boredom. In a sneak attack, Jonggu tries to catch Houhou off guard, but she dodges in mid-air, countering with a fierce attack using her high heels. Soren, having fallen to a lower floor after Scene's powerful punch, encounters Houhou, who shocks him by offering an apology. However, Soren's initial decision to decline is swayed when he catches a glimpse of Houhou from the front. Soren takes a moment to ponder and eventually asks Houhou to stand still while he talks to the president of Tenj. The president, aiming to test Soren's confidence in his decision, unleashes his secret art of channeling. Suddenly, Jonggu, still reeling from his earlier defeat, stands up and threatens Houhou. In response, Houhou remains calm and focused, ready to face whatever challenges come her way. The tension in the room reaches its peak as Soren, Houhou, and the president of Tenj stand at a crossroads, each with their own motivations and secrets. The turn of events takes a dark and unexpected twist, leaving Soren in a state of shock and confusion. As Houhou starts bleeding and collapses, Soren rushes to catch her, attempting to stop the blood but failing in his efforts. The president, enraged by Jonggu's unwarranted attack on Houhou, takes matters into his own hands and chokes Jonggu to death. Despite the president's attempt to heal Houhou, the wounds prove too severe. Desperate, he calls his son, Shinto, a skilled doctor with the soul of the 9th best in the world. Shinto examines Jonggu's weapons and discovers that Houhou's vital organs are irreparably damaged. Jo-san and Jo-yeon arrive at the scene and decide to take Houhou back to their agency without completing her treatment. Soren, overcome with anger, confronts Jo-yeon, accusing him of stopping Houhou's treatment. Jo-san tries to calm Soren, urging him to listen to Houhou's kai. To everyone's surprise, Houhou has already healed and is resting. Jo-san and Jo-yeon reveal that they want Soren to join the express delivery agency at any cost, recognizing his connection with Tenshifu. The agency is ready to support Soren in becoming the next Tenchi. When Soren blames Jo-san for using Houhou, the truth comes to light. Houhou has no memory of her past or origin, and the agency is helping her uncover it in exchange for her services. Meanwhile, Natsuka is plotting to have Ko-rin's son become the next Tenchi, and Zensei is taking refuge in Ko-rin's mansion. Roryu, with his own sinister plans, successfully extracts Shakuren's memories while Natsuka contemplates Soren's fortunate fate. Jo-san and Jo-yeon, back at the villa, ask Soren to continue his classes while they take care of Houhou. Just as they discuss Soren and Houhou, Houhou suddenly wakes up and recounts the events of the other day. Soren, on his way, takes a different route, aware that Roryu is following him. Roryu introduces himself to Soren and reveals the memories of his grandfather's last moments. As Ryu departs, Soren rushes back to the villa, grappling with the possibility that he might have been deceived by Jo-san and Jo-yeon. In his grandfather's memories, Soren sees Houhou and his suspicion grows. Just as Soren arrives at the hospital, Jo-san and Jo-yeon are present, and Jo-san's father, Jo-shu, recently awakened from a coma, expresses a desire to see his sons and Soren. Houhou is questioned by Soren about his grandfather's death, and with a heavy revelation, Houhou confirms that she was indeed the one who killed Soren's grandfather. The shocking truth leaves Soren in a state of disbelief. The revelation unfolds, leaving Soren in a state of disbelief and shock. As Soren activates his kinkajou in response to Houhou's admission, Jo-san attempts to calm him down. However, the unexpected intervenes as their father, Jo-shu, who had recently awakened from a coma, steps in to reveal the long-buried secrets. Jo-shu begins recounting a tale that stretches back more than 70 years to 1944. In that time, Houhou, known as Amu, woke up inside a cave with no memories. Two boys attempted to take advantage of her, but Jo-shu's father intervened, rescuing her and bringing her back to their house. At that time, Jo-shu was only 9 years old, and Houhou started living with him. Amu, as she was called due to her silent nature, never spoke, leading everyone to refer to her as Amu. When Jo-shu's mother inquired about Amu's past, her head began to ache, marking the first occurrence of her using kai. The medic, upon discovering that Amu was an outsider, advised them to conceal her true identity. Every attempt by Amu to remember her past resulted in excruciating headaches. Amu became Jo-shu's kai mentor, teaching him the principles of governing his kai. Jo-shu's mother taught Amu the shoulder pull song. 5 years after Amu joined their family, in 1949, the mother decided to search for Amu's family. If they couldn't find them, she wanted to formally adopt Amu. One night, after the harvest, Jo-shu's mother comforted Amu as her head ached. It was during this time that the bandits attacked the village. In an attempt to save Amu, Jo-shu's father was killed. Witnessing the mother cry, Amu, in a fit of rage, asked what she needed to do to make her smile again. The enraged mother demanded Amu to kill every bandit, and in a brutal display, Amu slaughtered each one. This event marked the first time Jo-shu witnessed the soul channeling. The villagers, terrified of Amu, asked her to leave. Jo-shu's mother, in an act of betrayal, left the village without informing Amu. The mother, unable to trust Amu any longer, left her behind, instructing her to wait until she returned. This heartbreaking revelation unveils the complexity of Amu's past, Jo-shu's family history, and the enduring connection between them all. In the heart of the forest, Houhou embraced the wildlife, battling creatures for bamboo shoots. Meanwhile, Amu embarked on a journey to reunite with her family. Fast forward to 1993, and Jo-shu, now 58, is approached by Chu with an offer to manage the outsider world in his new company. Chu introduces Jo-shu to the peculiar world beyond by showcasing photos of outsiders caught for minor crimes. Amidst the snapshots, Jo-shu stumbles upon one featuring Houhou, who got nabbed for snatching street food. However, her escape from the cell was nothing short of a spectacle. Enticed by the black market, outsiders sought to sell Houhou, chaining her in a cell. But fate took a twist when Daehai, a friend of Tiger, intervened. Outraged by her beaten state, Daehai confronted the man responsible, earning the sympathy of Tiger. The man disclosed that Houhou had given his goons a tough time, leading to Tiger's decision to spend time with her. Houhou's fate takes another turn when Tiger brings her to Joshu, leading to an emotional reunion. Amu, witnessing Houhou's condition, seeks revenge on her behalf. Tiger, fueled by justice, buries the assailant alive. From there, Houhou, with Joshu in the express delivery, starts unraveling her mysterious past. Joshu discovers Houhou's connection to the Kushan War, leading to a revelation of a meeting between outsider-style's key figures. The meeting turns gruesome as Shakuran Chu eliminates Yoretsu of the Shisentomen style. Shakuran reveals his connection to Houhou and directs her towards discovering her past. The old man, catalyst of the Kushan War, reveals secrets to Houhou before asking her to end his life. This marks a turning point as Houhou becomes the guardian of Chu Soren, the old man's grandson. Joshu's revelation about Soren's grandfather, Chu Kaigi, sparks a journey for truth. Joshu's apology to Houhou is met with her soothing song. Soren, determined to uncover the truth, decides to participate in the Reiten Teishu, setting the stage for a new chapter in their intertwined destinies. That concludes the first part of this anime. If you'll like to see me continue with this, please let me know down below and make sure you are subscribed to not miss out on the upcoming video of it. I'm out.
今晩電話するから待ってろって言ったよね。
ご主人様、申し訳ございません。